of the Allied Expeditionary Force. You are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you.
The Johnny Rocket Launch Pad. And now, here's Johnny.
Hey, it's Johnny Rocket here at the Johnny Rocket Launch Pad, always launching ideas in your direction, the Northwest's only rock and roll libertarian radio show. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Kurt Nelson.
What's up?
Voice of reason, Heather Nixon.
You're confused. I was like so ready for like the pumped up Kurt, and then he was like stoner.
Stoner Kurt.
Yeah. You know,
every now and then he
kind of schizophrenic.
He puts a pipe, and now he becomes Stoner Kurt.
It's been a long time since I lit up a joint during the show. And that's only it's only happened once.
One time. Yeah, and I remember I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, shit, really? Your answers didn't change, though.
No, I'm not a stoner. That was shock value more than anything.
It was. To
You
me.
were being a rebel.
Well, no, Johnny literally stuttered. He was like looking at me out of the corner of his eye, like, and this is Johnny Rocket, and Kurt, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Yeah, it was.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was just weird, man. Because you're like, I don't do it very often, but here we go, right in front of you.
How many episodes? One time.
One time.
But now.
In 65, 63.
There you go.
Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, so what we do here in the fourth and final segment is we do Rocket Fire Review. I needed one more.
Yeah.
And
you know what? When
it.
you edit that, put a separate delay on my voice, too.
All right, so what we do here is we do Rocket Fire Review. What we do is we discuss the Rocket Fire questions that our guest, Timothy J. Turner, awesome guest, man.
Dude, he's a badass.
And here's
I love having that guy on the show.
And here's the thing about Tim. Dude, seriously, when we were at the Libertarian Convention, man, his speech was off the charts awesome.
I'm so sorry I missed that. I wish I'd have seen it.
Dude, like, seriously, people were like, holy fuck.
Lasers and disco balls?
It was like one of those, like, slow claps, and it just turned into a fucking uproar.
One person stands up, and then another, and then
but
another.
It was just like, holy fuck. And I'm like telling people, I'm like, dude, this guy is a fucking secret weapon. I mean, because Tim is not like a very forward guy. He's kind of, he's kind of down, how you doing? I'm Tim, normal guy.
That's cool, though, down to earth,
Down to earth, but dude, you just wouldn't expect that kind of shit from a dude like that.
Sure.
Well,
you also wouldn't expect him to step into his DeLorean outside in the parking lot.
I will say, that was the first time I ever saw Tim, the Mexican restaurant.
Azteca.
Oh, I remember you guys talking about that. Yeah.
And it was one of those meet and greets, and the candidates got up and talked, and Tim was very quiet, and he was kind of looking down, and then Johnny was like, we're going to have him on the show, and I'm like, is he going to talk?
Is he going to say anything? and then he pops out with these badass ideas.
And then I was like, holy shit, who is this guy? That's not the same guy. And now it is just, it's amazing how he's come into himself and just, he owns it. He is awesome.
Yeah, I think even Paul Addis has grown. We've all grown.
Well,
in just a few years,
too, is we have a couple of a small handful of core guests that have come back.
Yeah, we keep them near and dear to us.
Right.
And Tim Turner is one of them.
Tim Turner is in that circle.
And we have Paul Addis, Tim Turner. We're gonna have Ed Barton back.
Yeah.
Glass Doctor of Seattle.
Oh yeah, he's
gotta
badass.
have him back.
And he's gonna bring me a windshield.
Yeah,
he's
just gonna bring. He's gonna be like, "Hi, I'm here for the launch pad, and here's your windshield."
I want him to bring those girls that sing the ad.
They do a good job.
They do a fine job.
Yeah, they do a good job.
It'd be cool if they were like his entourage. No, some people just have theme music when they're walking around.
Right.
And he's I do windshield. He does windshields.
Yeah. So every time he says something, they're like, oh yeah,
totally. Wouldn't that be rad?
And they're gonna be in matching sequin mini dresses.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's really why I can see him.
I could see him doing that. I can.
That'd be badass.
I feel like becomes a billionaire. He'll do it. I guarantee he would.
Dude, let's get him the girls. Let's bring the girls.
All right, we should do a commercial with him.
Yeah.
Why don't he should have a Glass Doctor commercial with him with the girls walking behind him.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go. All right, let's review this.
Question 1.
Should we move away from paper books and more towards electronic publishing? I don't care.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead, Kurt.
The
man is
I'd
up.
have to say, for the most part, I completely agree with Tim's answer. I personally lean toward electronic media because my printer's always fucking up, and I don't typically have time to read books. I wish I did, because I do enjoy reading a book. But every now and then I need to know about something, so I research it and, I'll read it. And then, like Tim said, cross-referencing things like that. My opinion.
I am a fan of paper books. And, as Tim said, you can take them anywhere, stick them in the tub. And when I was a little girl, I used to go to the library by myself and just hang out in the library.
Totally.
I love books. There's this old used bookstore that we go to that's
talked
near
about
our
it before,
house.
yeah.
And I love books, but I love paper and pens.
Sure.
I don't like to read.
That's mainly because you're a girl. You know that, right?
That she doesn't know how to read?
No, that she likes paper and pens and
that's a
like,
girl thing.
It's
No, Johnny's the same way.
Is he? Well, he's a girl too, though. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Sorry,
he wasn't ready to come out with that announcement.
Yeah, I'm the new Caitlyn Jenner. I'm
nice.
Joanna Rocket.
Wow. Joanna Rocket.
Okay. Seriously, both. I think both are great. I see a value in both.
I do too.
If I love a book, I want it in hardback. I want an analog.
Sure.
If I want to be able to read it wherever the fuck I'm at, I want a digital book.
Right. And there's so many things. I mean, like encyclopedias, electronic media makes sense because of, updating information, because if you have a set of encyclopedias from 1972, it might not have all the information
Britannica.
you need. Yeah.
Searchable is the huge one there too. Like to be able just to search and find a keyword and not just find,
that works well with like if you're like wanting to learn shit.
Yeah.
But if you're reading a novel, that doesn't work out.
See,
really
I just don't read novels.
I don't either.
If it's
to
not
me,
informational,
to me, it's a waste of time.
If it's not informational, I'm not.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
To me, I feel the same way. Like there's only been one series of books that I've ever read.
Occasionally, I have a friend that's like, "Hey, this is just like your brother, or this is just like something you always talk about. You've got to read this," and I'll read it, and I'll really enjoy it.
Right.
But it's pretty rare.
I'm with you on that. All right, 3. Why do prices go up?
And I'm just going to put a side note that there is an added pressure not to sound like a dumbass since Tim is sitting here watching us. So my answers to economic questions, I'm like, But yeah, Tim nailed it on the head,
He did a really good job.
I can feel him looking at me. I'm not even going to look behind me.
All right, Kurt.
I think it's the Flo's progressive price machine.
So her fucking scanner's way the fuck up.
Yeah, dude. It's whenever prices go up, it's the I'm sorry.
Flo's progressive price machine.
Name your own price tool is what it is. That's the problem.
Okay, well, prices go up. Well, there's inflation that causes prices to go up. That's one thing. But there's regulations, labor unions, all these other
factors. There's $15 minimum fucking wages that'll do it.
That's why prices go up.
And that just is official in New York now, too.
Is it really?
Yes.
It's just, dude,
I hadn't heard.
But guess what? Everything's going to go up. So then it's artificial. Therefore, everything else in the country will go up.
All the numbers just went
up. So
guess what? We all have the same
And then
shit.
people are going to be bitching about a $30 minimum wage. And next thing you know, we're going to have American dollars that look like Korean won. 4,000.
Is it the won?
Yeah, it's won in Korea.
Okay.
American dollar is 1,000 won.
Right.
Right? Same fucking thing. Right?
Because somebody
Same
over
value.
there, they built something and they were like, dude, this is the coolest
But that
thing ever.
happened
This should be worth 1 million of whatever it is. It should be worth 1 million of them.
Exactly. I guess that one won probably started off as valuable as that $1.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But then they're like, no, we're going to have a minimum wage and we're going to have some socialism thrown in there and we're going to have equality. And then here we have $1,000, we have 1,000 won. Doesn't mean it's more valuable than $1.
It's 1,000 of them, though. It has to be worth more.
It's like that email we've all gotten about Zimbabwe.
You mean that chick from Zimbabwe that wants to get married?
$1 billion. Right, we're going to give you because you're inheriting $1 billion of Zimbabwe money, which is probably about 75 cents. Right. So there you go. Hence, numbers don't mean shit. It's the value of the money that means something.
Right. I hope Tim Turner took something away from this valuable education just now.
Yeah. Tim, listen up. I got something more for you. Question 4. What would the impact be of the economy if the price ceiling or price floor were removed?
Fantastic. Seriously.
Okay.
Because now we're getting back to people naming what something's actual value. It's not you're not putting policies on prices. That's always a bad thing.
Right, exactly. And that goes the big debate that's going on in communist Seattle right now with them trying to implement rent control. Although it is illegal in Washington State, the city of Seattle is saying, they had this town meeting and people showed up, and friggin' Swant was like, oh, it just shows to show that so many people showed up, so this is something we need to talk about. It's like, no, people showed up because they want something for nothing. And if you own something, nobody should tell you what it's worth. If people won't rent it for the price you set, you'll have to lower the price. If people are willing to spend $2,000 a month, then it's worth that. And nobody should regulate that.
Exactly.
Right. And if you can get $2,000 for your shithole, then
more power
good
to
for
you.
you.
Yeah,
Right on.
So you're letting the free market and the consumer choose for themselves instead of having a mixed economy where government is getting involved where they don't belong.
No, but it's free, man. It's a free market.
But it's a free. But it should be a free market.
It should be, absolutely.
But it's a mixed economy.
Right.
And what happens is you have government saying, oh, you can't charge this much for your internet.
It's not fair.
It's
How come
not
I
fair.
should be able to live in Seattle because I want to?
Because
not
it's
all
a
these
beautiful
tech
place.
people that actually have skills and are making a good living. I should be able to live here too, even though I'm a loser.
Well, what's funny is I've actually tried to remove that word from my vocabulary. Fair. I just hate that word now.
That's not fair.
We're going to the fair September 23rd, though, to see Duran Duran.
Okay, well, that fair, fine. No, you can't have fairness.
Can I
And
just
we're
go
gonna
a side note here really quick?
Crusty
go ahead.
Puffs?
It's a little bit sad that Duran Duran's playing a fair. I mean, I dig Duran Duran. Probably not as much as you do.
She's a Duranimal.
I know, but I actually do dig that band. But it's always sad, like
When they play the casino.
Jefferson Starship always used to come play the Alaska State Fair, and they were just like, oh,
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
I just want to say that song is why they have to play the fair.
Yeah, I agree. That song
really
sucks.
bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Almost
All right,
as bad as the video.
Is privatization of public sector to private sector a good thing? Actually, I really liked his answer on this. And he was stating that you have to be careful. Like we have said, there is legitimate functions for government. We're a minarchist show. There is legitimate functions of government like jails, courts, police, fundamental shit. Fine, I'm cool with that, but stops there.
Right.
What the problem is I have a problem with jails. We've talked about this.
we have.
I'm not for jails being privatized.
No.
So that's one thing that I could think, hey, it'd be good if we had we had the government involved.
You're not
in
even
that
going to get
one
away with
thing.
a privatized police force, in my opinion.
But I am also cool, though, with private arbitration courts. So I would like to, I just don't want the government to have a full-blown monopoly on anything.
Right.
Well,
So-
I think a really good example of that is, here in Washington, we had the state liquor stores. You could not buy alcohol except for through the distribution centers. It was all through the state. And the voters voted to privatize because they wanted the government out of it. But the way that it was done through the initiative, because the initiative was written by Costco and lawyers, and they wrote it in a way that would only benefit those big businesses. So the little guys were still kept out of it. So that cronyism, it didn't benefit anybody. We ended up spending more for alcohol. And it wasn't done in a smart, right way. And people just had this knee-jerk reaction. Oh, we need to privatize, get the government out.
Right.
But now we're paying a higher price, literally.
To me,
Exactly.
that's that whole, I call it the back end of the law. When they pass a law and it sounds like a great idea. When you listen to the synopsis in 10 words or less, oh, what a great idea. But it's also a 200-page document, this law that's going through, and there's a bunch of shit on the back end of it that you don't want to see happen. And they know nobody's going to read through all that shit. And what was the 520 whatever, the gun law thing that we've talked about so many times?
594.
Yeah, that's my favorite example of that. It's bullshit.
Right. What Heather was saying regarding the liquor store here in Washington State, hey, initially, I'm all for alcohol.
It sounds good in 10 words.
In words, I'm all for it. But however, it was complete crony capitalism in the sense that Costco had their hands in the cookie jar on that one.
They wrote the initiative.
Exactly.
It was voted in by the people, not by the legislator, not by the state government. This was completely...
It was an initiative.
Right. And people thought that they were going to get the government out of it. But what it happened was because Costco wrote it in a way that would benefit only those big companies here in the state, the corner liquor store cannot have it because you have to be so far away from, you have to have so many square footage
right,
in order to sell it. And, so rural stores can still sell it. It keeps people out of it.
And it keeps the small guy out of the market.
Right. And
so no corner stores or no little fucking convenience stores can have alcohol. So that's what we were thinking when we voted it in. I'm sure the majority of people thought that way.
Right. And they also added taxes. Again, this was not the government that did it. This was the lawyers, Costco's, Safeway, Walmart was also involved. Wrote the initiative in a way so they added taxes so they could say, no, the state's not going to lose any money.
Right.
But what happened is we're paying more. The bars and restaurants lost the 20% discount that they used to get from when they used to buy the liquor from the state. And, and of course, then that cost is passed on to us.
Yep.
Wow. Why do you think the European Union made a monetary unification?
Tim was right on. Europe is very, you get on a train, you can walk across the border, people are interacting. And so it makes sense on some level for everybody to use the same currency because they really, like you say, you hop on a train just like we would go to Seattle,
But the thing that scares me about that, though, is just the fact that, in my opinion, I think France should be France, and they should have their francs, whatever the fuck currency they have. I don't even know. I think that might be Germany. I don't know.
I think you're right.
Okay. But Germany has francs. And, I forgot. I don't know.
France should have francs. And, yeah.
Germans should have Germains. And,
right.
So I just think it's weird, though, that they're trying to unify. It's just like they're trying to have the, there's talks. There's been talks about the Amero, where like Canada, like they call it.
Right.
Canada, America, and Mexico will all have the same currency.
Canada, they don't use the euro, right?
No. I'm talking the Amero, though.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, Canada is also Commonwealth.
England uses the pound still. That's the
Oh,
only
right.
country.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right, okay.
Right, so I'm just saying, I think it's just weird.
Yeah,
I don't
it's a little
like,
weird,
I
I
don't
suppose.
know. I just don't really like the idea.
You fear change, don't you?
No, not really.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Yes.
Ever tried an electric razor?
No.
He doesn't.
No, I like old shit.
See?
I like straight razors.
Right.
What is meant by the term trickle-down economics?
I don't know, Johnny. Heather, save us.
Well, I don't know. We could go back to the third segment and listen to what Tim said.
Okay. Yeah, hang on. Let's review Tim's answers and then come back to this.
Trickle-down economics, it was a Reagan plan. That was his thing that all the fucking progressives hate. They hate trickle-down economics. Basically, it's letting businesses succeed, deregulating the businesses, taxing them less. So by doing that, they would create jobs, they'd create wealth themselves organically.
Okay, sure.
All right?
I get it.
So therefore, they would hire more people when you have less government interference to deregulate businesses so they can actually employ more people below them. All right? Very simple. That's why progressives have problems, because it's pro-capitalism.
You're allowing the rich to get richer.
Exactly. But by allowing the rich to get richer, they are creating wealth. And they're the only ones that create wealth. And I know it sounds horrible. There's a lot of crony capitalism out there. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot of businesses that are in bed and who are getting subsidies and who are getting special favors from government. Government shouldn't be involved with a private business. If you do free up these large businesses have the opportunity.
That wealth will flow down.
Absolutely. Hence the term trickle down.
Right. So then there is the argument that there are companies, corporations who do not let it trickle down. I mean, Walmart, for a prime example, where they keep people at minimum wage. Mm-hmm. They don't offer them any benefits. They don't give them full time. So, the corporation gets richer and richer. The people working for them really were suffering. Right.
And I don't think, I think when this was Reagan's theory, I think it all seemed fine and good. Mm-hmm. Because when you talk about it the way you were just talking about it, it sounds like a great idea. And so
it still is, actually.
Yeah, but then a bunch of crony capitalists came in and found all the loopholes and filled them and kept their money, so it didn't flow, didn't trickle down.
So Walmart isn't necessarily the most honest business in the world. All right.
No, and people, it's like the power of the dollar, right? If you don't like it, don't shop there.
So Walmart is pretty much in bed with government. and they're involved with government in all 50 states. Even small state government. Walmart's involved.
They've done well for themselves that way.
Exactly. All right. We must open a Walmart in our town and fucking Buckshoe, Arizona. You know, like, no one lives here. No, we need a Walmart.
Right.
Okay, and we have a Walmart. But we're not making enough money. Well, here's some subsidies because everyone really wants you here.
Right.
So there is some crony capitalism. What Tim Turner said is that the economy, even though there may be some unfairness, I'm going to use an effect there.
You use the word fair, too.
I just totally used it there intentionally. Even though there will be some deficiencies, unbalance in the economy, it will eventually balance itself out.
It'll fix itself.
It will fix itself.
As long as there's not policies on top of policies that are
no one knows all the policies. So if you just leave them alone,
right?
Those businesses, it's in their best interest to pay those guys good money to keep those good employers.
Of course it is.
If you don't, there's going to be another company that comes up and will offer your employees more money, better benefits.
Yeah.
And let's be completely politically incorrect. And
I like it.
It doesn't sound nice at all. There are jobs like working at Walmart. You know, there are certain people who are they're not management material.
Right.
They're never going to go to college. They're not going to own their own business, and they need to work and they need to make a living. And if their value is only a certain amount, why should you pay them any more?
Sure.
Absolutely. And that's basic economics. I mean, people just got to understand that not everyone is worth $15 an hour. You may be worth $10 an hour, but $10 an hour is better than $0 an hour.
Right. And that is also why there is an exemption to the minimum wage for people who are developmentally disabled. It is legal for you to pay someone less than minimum wage if they have a developmental disability, because they know no one is going to hire somebody who is developmentally disabled. You know, they're not going to pay them $15 an hour. So you can hire them at a lower wage to employ them to benefit them, quote unquote.
However, isn't that usually subsidized? Isn't that like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pay this person half of minimum wage, and the state's going to match that money and give them. I've heard of that, and I'm asking. I don't know, but I've heard of this before.
We'll have to look it up. I mean, definitely, I'm sure they get tax write-offs, just like if you hire somebody who's on public assistance.
Sure.
They get a tax write-off. They get something
I
like
know that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so it's Johnny Rocket here at the Johnny Rocket Launchpad, always launching ideas in your direction, Northwest only rock and roll libertarian radio show. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Kurt Nelson.
Fucking hey, baby.
My voice of reason, the beautiful Heather Nixon.
Thanks for listening.
And we're always launching ideas in your direction. We had Tony Reina from the Greaser Social Club.
He was
Worldwide. Awesome. And we've had our friend and family member, kind of a family member.
Oh, Rocket family.
Yeah. Tim Turner! Woo! Yeah! This is the first time we've had a review with any of our guests.
It's a little unnerving, but
it's a little weird.
Yeah.
But cool.
I feel like we taught him a few things.
Yeah. We'll tell him what's up. He's probably he's over there in the corner taking notes.
Taking notes.
Yeah, he's like, oh, shit. Johnny was right on that one. Anyway, so thanks, Tim.
Right.
We're going to be back next week. Check us out on JohnnyRocketLaunchpad.com. Thanks and bye.
Thanks and bye.
It was a cold, dark night when my teardrops fell, and they turned into steam when they reached the depths of hell. You think I'm gone? Well, I'm still right here. You said that I was wrong. Now it's all clear. I'm gonna burn myself for you. And everyone will know the truth. Yeah, I shed 999 tears for you, but not one more. And I'm showing you that door. These tears number 999, but it's over now, and the last one's mine. You thought I was down when I got back up. I stood my ground, I'm never gonna back down. Of the very last tear, you will find no trace, 'cause I stopped it cold before it ever touched my face. Yeah, I shed 999 tears for you.